Getting married may very well be the worst financial decision of Jeff Bezos' life.
We're talking about physical, emotional, spiritual, financial, recreational, lots of different types of intimacy.
Most men, if they live long enough, eventually realize that true love is truly loving one single woman.
I do a mindful prayer walk, and that's just talking to God while I'm walking.
Do we do our morning routines perfectly every day? No, of course not.
Smart goals.
These are like light switches.
Okay.
The affirmations are not like light switches. They're like a dimmer. Welcome to Marriage IQ, the podcast helping you become an intelligent spouse.
I'm Heidi Hastings.
And I'm Scott Hastings.
We are two doctors, two researchers, two spouses, two lovers, and two incredibly different human beings coming together for one purpose: to change the stinky parts of your marriage into scintillating ones, using intelligence mixed with a little fun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Marriage IQ, where we make a borehole through boring. Take an axe to average and strike out stale marriages, one scintillating episode at a time.
You are highly intelligent in crafting those very interesting intros, dear.
Thank you, my love. I was thinking this morning that being married and in love is perhaps one of the most powerful forces in the universe.
Agreed.
Case in point, Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon.
Amazon, yep.
I think everyone knows about him. Married to Mackenzie Scott for 25 years.
Okay.
Divorced her and gave her approximately $38 billion.
What?
Not so he could divorce Miss Scott, but so he could marry Lauren Sanchez and take a chance of doing this all over again.
Oh, my goodness. Maybe they need to be listening to Marriage IQ.
Maybe. If anyone knows Jeff, just let him know about Marriage IQ. Getting married may very well be the worst financial decision of Jeff Bezos' life.
Is he still married to that second wife?
Yes, as of today.
How long has that been?
I think it's 2023, so it's
So
probably
recently.
been 2 years. Yeah.
All right.
So yes, he is in another marriage. If that's not powerful, I don't know what is. Think about it, $38 billion. He could have lived a playboy life, which many men do, but eventually time catches up to these men until virtually every living man on earth comes crawling back to the realization that we all need, we all crave, we all long for, we all desire, we all want one woman, one wedding ring, and one life. So deep, so intricate, so bold, yet so delicate, so romantic, and so adventurous, so routine, and yet so scintillating that we can't bear the thought of going through it with serial girlfriends and or one-night stands. Most men, if they live long enough, eventually realize that true love is truly loving one single woman. The funny thing is they may not even know it. What do you think about that?
I think saying that all men eventually come to that conclusion is probably a pretty big stretch.
All right, 99%.
No, I don't even think that. According to Brad Wilcox, who was on here, he said there's definitely research showing two different types of men, and that there are those who don't want to settle down and those who do. But in the circles we run in, the vast majority of men do, and I would guess it's possible that it's a majority. I don't know. I don't know what internationally these things look like, these statistics look like.
Well, I have two words for you, my love.
Okay.
Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, but Hugh Hefner, you've brought that up on a few other episodes. Don't think that's a good excuse.
Well, he's the ultimate playboy.
Yeah,
right?
He is. I mean, Playboy is his company. He's the head of the company. So certainly it would be him, but we can't generalize when one man makes a massive shift in his life to say that that's going to be the case for all men.
Well, you may be true, but my theory rests on the fact that even the playboys, if they live long enough, will realize this.
Or if they
Those
are
two groups now become one if they live long enough. How many 90-year-old
how long
playboys do you see out there?
And how
my
long
love?
do they have to live to reach that point? And I don't know if I want to be hooking up with a 90-year-old man. I think their options get a little bit slimmer and their testosterone gets a little bit less.
Well, speaking about hooking up with 90-year-old men, let's talk about our giveaway. Would you like to do that?
How does that have anything to do with hooking up with 90-year-old men? I don't know.
But we are giving away.
Do have a big giveaway. You're funny. We love dating. We want you to love dating. So we are giving away 5 $100 gift certificates that you and your honey can have a night out on the Hastings on Marriage IQ. We're really excited to see how many of you can come up with really great date ideas, but we're going to make it really easy for you. All you have to do is go to marriageiq.com, our website.
Easy.
And on there it should pop up a little thing saying subscribe to our weekly tips email. And you just put in your name, you put in your email address, and that's all it takes. On the 28th of November, which is Black Friday, we will announce the winners, those 5 lucky winners.
So sign up today, folks.
Yep.
Get free date night on Marriage IQ. It is my turn to do today's episode.
You're in charge today. Yep.
So I wanted to sing for you.
Ah.
Yes.
Yay. And I haven't seen anything that he's doing, guys.
It's called My Turn by Diana Ross.
Okay.
She sang this in 1981.
Okay.
It's my turn to see what I can see. I hope you'll understand. This time's just for me because it's my turn. With no apologies, I've given up the truth to those I've tried to please. Wait a minute. That's not very emotionally intelligent, is it? I've given up myself to please
I didn't
you.
like that song in the 80s, and I'm not really sure. I'm
right.
sitting there thinking, what in the world is your point?
Okay. All right.
To be in charge today.
Well, I thought it was a cute song, but clearly Diana Ross needs to listen to Marriage IQ. So,
all right. That
all
was
righty.
funny.
Today, folks, we are talking about the golden hour
What did Diana Ross have to do with anything?
because it's my turn.
Oh.
I get to choose today's content.
Okay. All right. I gotcha.
So, what on earth is the golden hour, and what on earth does it have to do with marriage? That's a great question.
Yes. I'm
I
excited to
would
hear.
like to remind all of our audience members that just remember Mr. Miyagi, that little old Japanese grandpa guy in Karate Kid we talked about in episode 68 and 69.
Yep.
That fog will eventually lift, folks, and the chorus of angels will sing hallelujah as the light bulb goes off in your head by the end of this podcast. Oh, so that's how it works. Yes, indeed. So, honey, let's review. We've been asked by some listeners to review our 4 cornerstones.
Okay.
We'll do that. So what are the 4 cornerstones to a scintillating marriage?
Well, the first cornerstone is identity. And that comes straight from the research that I've done, showing that when we give away our identity, forget who we are, and just fold ourselves into either the marriage identity, or for women, it's really common to just fold themselves into their husband and become more enmeshed. That doesn't make for a scintillating marriage. So we want to stay in that lane of remembering who we are, understanding who we are, and really being focused on knowing who our partner is too.
I think that makes for a great first cornerstone.
Our second one is intentionality, and that is being very intentional, to be redundant there, about the things that we put into our lives and into our marriage, not just kind of going laissez-faire and seeing what happens, but planning, setting goals together, having a shared vision, holding couples councils, date nights, all the things that keep us tied to each other and being intentional about it all. Our third cornerstone is insight, which is another word for self-awareness, being aware of my own self, my own thoughts, my own behaviors, how they impact you,
Mm.
being aware of and having insight into how I react to what you say or do.
If I could put insight into one word, it would be,
Aha.
and the angels appeared.
And then the last cornerstone is intimacy, which part of intimacy happens just naturally when we focus on those other three, when those other three cornerstones are solidly in place. But we also need to be intentional about our intimacy. And we're not just talking about sexual intimacy, we're talking about physical, emotional, spiritual, financial, recreational, lots of different types of intimacy, which we really think just means deep connection.
You see into me, see? Right?
Yeah. And we don't have, it's one of the four cornerstones, but the bedrock upon which those four cornerstones are laid would be integrity. None of those four cornerstones will stand up if there's not integrity within the marriage. How did I do? Did I pass?
You passed.
Okay,
Yes, you
good.
did very
I'm
well.
glad I can have a part in today's episode.
Your words and thoughts are very valuable. That gives me great insight and perspective.
Thank you,
So
my dear.
today we're talking about exercising, lifting weights, but not lifting weights physically or exercising physically.
Okay.
We're lifting weights with our psychology and our emotions. We want to specifically focus and zero in on identity and intentionality. And I strive personally to start every morning with being intentional.
As do I.
So I like to call it the golden hour. Now, I learned.
Where did you get that term? Do you remember?
Well, I learned, we went to a conference some years ago. It was probably like 9 years ago, where they just taught, classes on becoming better. And there was one particular speaker. His name's Matt Morgan.
Yeah, Dr. Matt Morgan is a physician. Yeah.
Just like me. And he talked about the golden hour or morning, either one. But anyway, it was, for me, the golden hour. And he talked about a morning routine that I thought, I think I should start doing this. He talked about how it's greatly improved his life, financially, personally, emotionally, relationally. So I thought, I'm going to start doing this. So I kind of put my own tweaks into things, and you did too.
Okay, yep.
So we're going to go over some of this today. And some of this is really personal, to be honest, but I don't know. What else can I do, right?
We're good at being vulnerable.
So my morning typically starts at 6 a.m. I'm awakened by what sounds like exotic birds in a forest in Germany somewhere. So just a reminder too, going through this today, I don't want people to think, oh, look at me. I'm so cool. I'm doing all this every morning and you're not. Like, no. This is not the approach that we want to take today. It is simply some tools that you could use or not to help your life and to help your marriage.
And I have heard that billionaires have kind of that golden morning hour in common as well.
Yep.
Many of them.
Well, I'm not a billionaire.
No, nope, you're not. But a lot of them have similar types of things. So I'm anxious to hear.
Yes,
we're going to share.
I think pretty much 100% of successful people are going to have intentionality as part of their life. So I wake up to the sounds of these birds that gradually get louder in case I don't hear it. Very lovely. I pray first. And when I pray specifically for 3 attributes that we have chosen from our last marriage retreat. If you don't know about our marriage retreats, you can go back to that episode, but we had come up with 3 attributes that we want to work on for that quarter. And for this quarter, those attributes are to be more virtuous, more patient, and more willing. So I pray for those every day. I also pray that I can recognize my triggers, my emotional triggers, and to allow them to dissipate.
Because sometimes we're a little overreactive.
I don't
or
pray
we're-
that they'll go away. I don't pray that bad things won't happen. I pray that I can recognize them quickly and allow them to dissipate. We also have a yearly theme.
Mhm.
Every year we
That
come up with
comes from our
our January
marriage retreat and our goals too.
This year, it's to stay amazed.
Yep.
All the things that we can look at.
And every week we pick a different thing to focus on staying amazed about.
So I pray and ask God that I can stay amazed at whatever we're wanting to be staying amazed at
The
this
world
week.
around us, each other, miracles in our lives, our bodies, our health, lots of different things.
So, but Dr. Hastings, I don't pray and I don't believe in God, and I'm an atheist or agnostic, which is a lot of people, right? There are a lot of religious people too. So we don't want to leave these folks out. All I can say is,
That's your experience.
All I can say is for me, it works. It works well to have someone or something bigger than me
Mm-hmm.
that I can communicate with and speak with. It helps me. Now, some of you might say, well, but what proof do you have that praying actually does anything, right? You might be just kneeling down and praying to a wall. I mean, we are, after all, a research-based marriage podcast, right?
Yes, we are.
So what does the scientific literature say about regular prayer and well-being? Glad you asked. Study by Froisi, probably slaughtered his name, and colleagues.
Or her name.
Or her name. I think it was a him, but good catch. 2024 revealed that praying with others and having positive emotions that they felt during prayer were correlated with greater overall mental health and more positive self-esteem.
That's cool.
However, if the person praying interprets God as an impersonal and demanding and or demeaning God, it is a more negative experience.
That would make sense.
So I think most people who pray, if they have that baseline positivity toward God, they're going to have a better experience.
And if they don't believe in God, maybe just being in nature or something would feel that same type of experience for them.
Or just something. Yeah. Mother Nature, the universe, something bigger than themselves.
Okay. What else do you do?
Number 2, meditate. This is somewhat controversial, folks. I understand this. We actually did a deep dive on meditation on episodes 68 through 69. That's called the M word. We put the M word on there because we didn't think anyone would listen to it if we talked about meditation. But I will tell you, folks, this is one of the biggest things in my life that I've instituted that's made some of the most profound changes in my life.
And that is also on the list of what billionaires have in common. Did you know that?
Well, where's my billion? Dang it.
I don't think we could handle that.
I don't want a billion. 100 million would be nice, right?
No. I don't think we need that either.
So yes, we did a lot of deep dive on this with a lot of great research on the benefits of meditation, not just meditation, but regular daily meditation. You meditate a little bit differently than I do. I started moving to 25 minutes. It's taken me about 6 years to get there. And I just kind of sit in silence in the morning. Again, this is early morning. It's dark. I sit up straight. I'm fully aware. I'm not sleeping. I'm not slouched over. Back is straight, shoulders back. It is, a very intentional act to breathe in slowly, to feel my breath all the way in, then all the way out. Typically about 6 seconds on the inhale, 6 seconds on the hold, and about 12 seconds on the exhale. And then wait for 6 seconds.
Do you count all of that?
I do sometimes, but it roughly is about that cycle.
Okay.
And then next I go to Fortify app. That is an app that I use every single day. It is for people who want to stay virtuous. And to not partake in pornography.
Hmm.
I've been doing that for probably, 6, 7 years now. Every day I read, I reflect. That's part of my morning routine.
What all do they have on there?
Well, they have other people who are wanting to do the same thing.
Okay.
And
So kind of a support
we
group
kind
for
of help
each
each other. They have some inspirational thoughts and quotes every day.
Okay.
And, it is interesting. I have all of my laptops, computers locked down tighter than Fort Knox, it seems, because I don't want to go back into that realm. And I'm willing to do it. I want to stay away from these natural proclivities that affect nearly all men. And
I appreciate that effort, dear, a lot.
Thank you. The next thing I do, I read scriptures, and some days I'm better than others, but I do read them just about every day and try to think of things that I could apply it to in my life.
That's good.
The next thing I do is I review my identity affirmations. Who am I? Who am I becoming? Who do I want to become later in life? And it's interesting. This is flowing. It's changing. I just added one recently based on a conversation we had with the spy guy, Jeremy Horowitz. I think it was episode 97.
Mm-hmm.
So this list is constantly changing. No, not constantly, but it's changing sometimes. Because sometimes I change who I want to become, and I'm constantly building and rebuilding myself.
We're looking at our values, our goals, who we want to be as we gain more perspective. We want to keep growing.
So I have listed about 50 affirmations. These are things that I sat down with myself and said, okay, who do I want to be? Who am I now? And I realized too, it's a spectrum, right? It's not a light switch. I want to become more emotionally intelligent. Well, there's not a specific endpoint to that, right? That's kind of how affirmations are. That's how they work. I want to become better at them. Okay. So I want to share a few of mine with you. Again, there's 50 of them. These are things that I am right now, and other things are ones I'm working on. So number one, first thing I tell myself in the morning, that I'm a child of God.
What difference does it make knowing that?
Well, I feel a connection.
Okay.
I feel that parent-child relationship. I feel supported. I feel like I'm part of something bigger than myself.
Okay. I like that.
Number 8, I am a gentle husband to Heidi.
Saying that to yourself every day is making you so in your interactions with me in marriage. Yeah.
Number 9, I'm a meek husband to Heidi.
Okay. And meekness I see as strength and gentleness. So that kind of is similar to number 8, but you're also strong and powerful in good ways, but not domineering.
And number 10, I give unfeigned love to Heidi.
So you went 1, 9, 10.
8, 9, 10. I don't want to share the other ones.
Okay.
They're too private.
Okay.
Number 11, I find God's perspective. This is my purpose in life. Number 11. That is my purpose is to find the perspective of God.
Which means you're looking for the best in everyone?
Well, I could spend hours on this.
Okay.
It is very profound, and it's taken me a long time to get there. So if anyone's interested, I can reach out and talk to you about it. But number 18, I am an intentional father.
I like that too.
Number 19, I do not judge others, period. So that is one of my things. I really don't want to judge others at all, anyone.
Okay.
Number 24, I am brilliant and intelligent.
Is that redundant?
Well, I think intelligence is more maybe facts, and
Okay.
brilliance is more deduction.
Okay.
So you can be intelligent, but not super brilliant, or the other way around, right?
Okay. And you're both.
So,
Boy, am I lucky.
well, look, I'm not saying I'm brilliant or intelligent, but I
Wait,
tell
that's something
myself
you're working toward
this is
being.
what I want to move forward on that spectrum.
That's good.
Let's jump ahead to number 31. I find and defend truth.
Okay.
That's a big one for me. Number 34, I am confident and competent.
I know competence is one of your values.
Core values.
One
Yep.
of those core values. So, yeah, I like that you wove that into here too.
Number 47, I constantly learn, evaluate, change, and become a better version of myself.
That sounds like insight.
Indeed, one of our 4 cornerstones.
Mhm.
Number 50, this is the new one.
Okay.
I am an elite listener.
Okay.
I'm not, but
Working towards
look,
it.
I thought I want to become that.
I noticed that you're reading a new book lately on listening. So that kind of weaves together. You're being intentional about this.
Yes. So what does research say about these these daily affirmations? Great question. Empirical studies consistently show that regularly affirming one's identity by repeating, writing, or reflecting on statements about who I am and who I want to become can yield positive psychological outcomes over time. So
Yeah. Do you think that that's happened?
I think so.
Yeah.
Indeed. Again, it's like the graph, a trend line, up and down, up and down, up and down. And some days are bad, some days are great. It depends. You just stand back and looking at the overall trend, and that is up.
Yeah. Agreed.
These practices, they're often studied in positive psychology interventions. They tend to produce small but reliable improvements in emotional well-being and personal development.
Mm-hmm.
The benefits are not just immediate mood boosts, but they can accumulate and contribute to long-term changes in our outlook and growth. For example, Zhang and colleagues in 2025 did a meta-analysis. This is a study of studies of 67 different studies
Wow.
on this topic.
That's a big one.
Found that self-affirmation had a small but significant positive effect on our self-perception and our general well-being.
Okay. So we say who we are often enough, and eventually we start becoming that and have just better well-being, better confidence.
So these benefits were immediate. And if you continued consistently doing it every day, routinely, it became long-lasting. In another example, there's a popular idea of the best possible self idea.
What's that?
Well, that's where you write or you visualize your own ideal future self, who you are in the future.
I've heard of best possible outcome, where you are drawing to yourself the best possible outcome in whatever the scenario is.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't thought of it in terms of doing that with best possible self.
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
Kind of look at yourself down the road in a year, 3 years.
Oh, well, I guess
5 years.
I guess that's what we do with our shared vision.
Yeah, our best possible self in the future.
Okay.
And that it's been shown to boost positive emotions and optimistic outlooks. Carrillo and colleagues, 2019, almost 3,000 subjects found that seeing yourself as the best possible self in the future, visualizing yourself becoming and doing what you think is the best version of yourself and practicing it, found that this best possible self idea is an effective intervention to improve our well-being.
So if you're depressed or
not depressed, just
what are they talking about when they're talking about well-being?
Optimistic toward the future,
Okay.
feeling good about yourself, creating more meaning in your life.
Okay.
The scintillating life, might I add.
Okay.
So, which is what we're trying to do here, is create more scintillation. The next thing, my goals.
You did your morning prayers, you did your meditation, you did your affirmations, and then your next thing is goals.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
So my own personal goals, not our marriage goals.
No.
We do have our own marriage goals that we go through every Sunday during our couples council. But these are my own, and I have daily, weekly, monthly, and annual goals. Now, the difference between these and the affirmations, these must be more concrete, right? They're not nebulous. They're not a spectrum.
SMART goals.
These are like light switches.
Okay.
The affirmations are not like light switches. They're like a dimmer. Either I did these goals today or not. And it's important to be able to differentiate between these and those affirmations. So I have 28 daily goals that I review every morning. Number 1, I'm out of bed by 6 a.m. Number 2, meditate. Number 3, fortify. Number 4, read my scriptures. Number 5, self-affirmations. Number 6, review personal goals. Do these all sound familiar?
Yep. You're talking about exactly what you're going to get up and do every morning.
Yes.
And then you get to check them off. Right?
Highly redundant, but it works. Yes, I put all of my golden hour as my daily goals. So it's easier to be successful.
Okay.
Number 13, no judging others today. I asked
So
myself, did I judge someone or not? If
do
I
you-
did,
at the end of the day, you ask yourself,
Yes.
and then if you look back and you found that you judged someone, then you don't get to mark that goal up.
I put it on my Strides app, which I use nightly. And then Stride kind of keeps my percentages and sees.
So you can see
So
if
I can
you're
see how
progressing.
well, how well I'm doing. So I am doubling down on this idea of not judging others. It's a daily goal because I really, really, really don't want to judge people.
Do you judge me?
I certainly try not to.
When you think at the end of the day about judging people, am I part of that equation?
I would have to say, I don't think so.
All right. Add me in there.
I don't think so. Here's one. Number 17, Thanos with Heidi. That's the I feel statements, appreciation, needs, owning, and success. We talked about in the 3 communication tools episode.
Right.
We highly recommend.
We try to do that every night.
Try to do that every night on our walk.
Mhm.
So one of my weekly goals is to contact each of my children and also practice the piano at least once a week. Monthly goals, listen to one audiobook. That's currently that one by Michael Nichols. It's The Lost Art of Listening. Very, very good book. We'll talk about that in another episode. Another monthly goal is flowers for Heidi. Once a month.
I benefit from that.
Not romantic to write it down, but it sure helps when I think about it every day and plan on it. Yearly goals, memorize Rachmaninoff's 18th variation on a theme of Paganini.
On the piano.
Yes.
Awesome.
I've had
I
this
think you just
memorized in the past.
Accomplished it, didn't
I
you?
forget. No,
you
that's
close?
Claire de Lune.
Oh,
I memorized. Now I'm back to that one.
Okay.
So what does the scientific literature say about setting these goals, daily, weekly, longer term goals, and reviewing them often?
Tell me. Please. I'm waiting with bated breath.
Decades.
I'm guessing they're saying that it's a waste of your time.
No, they're not saying that.
Just kidding.
Decades of research in psychology and other behavioral sciences demonstrate that setting specific goals greatly improves performance relative to vague intentions or no goals at all.
So being intentional.
So Locke and Latham's seminal goal-setting theory found that specific, challenging goals consistently lead to higher achievement than simply telling oneself to do your best.
That makes sense.
And research emphasizes the benefit of breaking down long-term aims into proximal or like immediate.
Bite-size?
Yeah, a little smaller short-term sub-goals.
Mhm.
Short-term goals provide frequent milestones and feedback, which is crucial for sustaining our motivation. So a study in 2016, this is another meta-analysis by Harkin and colleagues. They examined 138 different experiments and confirmed that prompting people to frequently monitor their progress significantly improved those goal attainment rates. Just sit down with yourself and do it. The next thing I do is I exercise. This one I have to set an alarm for because by now I have to start thinking about being to work on time. If I want to be to work by 8:30, I've got to set an alarm. I usually do some high intensity interval training 2 to 3 times a week.
Matt Morgan really turned you onto that, I think.
We do the gym twice a week, and I run once a week on Fridays. And then it's time to get ready to work. Set another alarm because I don't want to be late for work. But before I leave for work, I pray with Heidi, and we pray about lots of things. But one of them is to become the best podcasters and authors that we can become.
Slowly but surely, I don't know. But we do pray about it.
That is a radical concept, I know. We also pray to have eyes to see and ears to hear, to be sensitive to those people around us who are in need. And then it's out the door. And my golden morning is over. I'm going to work.
Wow. That's amazing.
So, but I know, look, not everyone's going to have the same morning routine or think about it.
Right.
I know you have your morning routine.
A lot of things are very similar, but some are a little bit different.
I asked you to kind of think about your morning routine. What would you like to share in your view?
Well, I most of the time try to not pick up my phone during my morning routine because it's a little bit too tempting to check emails and check other things. So what I try to do is just go get on my sweats and shoes and get outside. We have a really cool park right by our house that has a lot of different varieties of plants. And I typically start by going on a mindful walk. This time of year, it's still pretty dark when I get out there. And I try to notice the stars in the sky or if there's any kind of moon. But I look for things that I see, I hear,
You're mindful, right?
I smell, I taste, I feel, and try to just pull into my body and out of my thoughts, because if I am not super intentional about that, my thoughts will take over and I'll get really stressed about what's coming up for the day. And then as part of that, I do a mindful prayer walk. And that's just talking to God while I'm walking. And that, for me, keeps my brain from kind of being monkey brain and helps me be clear about the things that I'm being prayerful about. Then I come back and do meditation. I prefer most of the time guided meditation, but I kind of go through different periods of time where I'll do similar to what you are, just sitting in silence. I'm diving a little bit lately into contemplative prayer, which is not even speaking words, but just feeling. That's a new concept for me, contemplation. And I do find, however, that when I do meditation, whether it's 10 minutes or whether it's 30 minutes a day, I'm less reactive. And I think that overall helps our marriage a lot. If you can tell that I'm being a little overreactive, you'll say, how's your meditation going? Especially equanimity, just able to root myself and let things, I guess a good way to say it is to allow myself to sit in discomfort without becoming agitated at things around me. And practicing that really helps. Then I'll read my scriptures and I will look at my goals for the day. For several years, I did Matt Morgan's daily list where everything I do during the day has to align with what my values are and what my most important roles in life are. And when I used his worksheet for that every week, I would say I probably accomplished more than any other time in my life. The last year, I've gotten a little bit away from that. I've tried something new. I may not continue with what I've got now. It's a little bit less intentional, but
Less
I
structured.
do. Yeah, but I do my weekly planning by like my podcast work or my working with clients work or my Family Medicine Plus work or motherhood or marriage. So I do the roles.
It's a lot of
but
boxes.
It's a little bit different than what I've done in the past. I'm not sure I accomplish quite as much with that. So I may go back next year. We'll see, or I might try something new. But I do my planning every day and have a healthy breakfast. Did I say exercise? I don't think I said exercise. I also exercise.
Yeah, with you, your prayer is actually a prayer walk.
A prayer walk. And I talk out loud. I'll put my AirPods in my ears so people walking by me aren't thinking I'm just talking to myself.
They don't think she's crazy.
Yeah.
She's talking to God while she walks in nature. Really love that you do that.
Yeah.
It's
been
cool
a big,
too that
big deal for me.
That you're kind of exploring. You're trying different things.
Yeah.
Maybe
and
this works.
This
Maybe
is
it doesn't.
new in the last few months.
I'm going to try this
I really
and
like it.
see what fits. Okay.
I do read through my affirmations and my goals as well. I will say I'm not as good at it as you are, but when I find that my identity is a little bit shaky, then I know that's an area that I need to get back to that maybe I've been a little bit lax on.
Well, thank you for sharing. Again, it's something we do a little bit differently, and you might do something different too. You find out what works for you personally that helps you grow into the best version of yourself and your relationship. Daily identity affirmations aren't a smoking gun cure to your problems. Sorry.
No.
But as part of a daily routine, as we've discussed with our own personal experience and with the scientific research, it can really provide a steady, positive feeling that can help keep your personal development on track. With appropriate tailoring and realistic expectations, this simple practice is a valuable tool for sustained psychological well-being and a clearer, stronger sense of yourself. Now, you might be tempted to think, I can never be like Hastings, blah, blah.
We don't want you to be like us. We want you to be like you, to do it in a way that works for you. But just saying, these are things the billionaires have in common.
You might say.
Although, so for Jeff Bezos, it did lead him to a lot of success, but it didn't really help his marriage, apparently.
Right.
So it's not a guarantee for
he needs to
helping
listen
marriage.
to Marriage IQ. Go on, Jeff.
Not a guarantee for happy marriages, but it does help.
Yes. Yep. And what we're trying to do here is put all the puzzle pieces in place. Clearly, if you're a billionaire, you're probably removing some other really important puzzle pieces to a successful and scintillating marriage.
That's possible.
And we can talk about those. But as far as back to you, our audience, I don't want you to think too. We don't want you to think that we're perfect,
We definitely aren't.
This is a reality check, folks. Just kind of get used to it.
But we're intentional.
If you're thinking that it's always this pristine and we live these perfect lives where everything goes flawlessly, just listen to episode 98 of our Real Talk about our marriage retreat gone bad, but
then recovered.
Do we do our morning routines perfectly every day? No, of course not. I'm at about 65% of the time currently. Yeah, that's not 100%.
I do most of the things in my morning routine a much higher percentage of time than that, but I also let other parts of my morning routine dip much lower than that.
Right. And I'm talking if I get 100%. So if I miss even one of those, I don't count it. So
you lump them all together as one.
So I do 65% of the time. I do 100% of my morning routine.
Oh, okay.
So it's not 100%, but it is up from about 45% a couple of years ago. So that's progress on that spectrum, right? It's not perfect. Nobody is, but it's better than before.
Yep.
By golly. So the best advice that I got is it's always unsolicited. I don't go asking for it because I didn't even know what to ask in the first place. It's not until the very moment when I got it and realized I needed this all along. That's what's happening today with our episode.
We're just giving you the advice.
So getting back to Mr. Miyagi and the Karate Kid, as you work on yourself, we mean really work on yourself, you'll start to see slow, measurable improvements in not just your own life, but in your marriage. It may not seem like it in the heat of that most recent blow up, but if you stand back over time, evaluating, measuring, doing your daily routines, you're going to start seeing fewer and fewer blow ups on average and more scintillating moments on average with your spouse over time.
Yep.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I think we feel more confident in ourselves when we prioritize that time for ourselves to become the best version of ourselves. And that allows us to show up better.
So that means, I think, too, setting down, like you said, the phone, setting down the social media, things like that are always reactive, because this is a very, very proactive part of our lives, not reactive. Now, do you have a morning routine that you love?
Yeah, people that are listening may have some suggestions that we would love to
I would love
incorporate
to
into what
hear.
we do.
Just because I do this routine doesn't mean I'm open
No,
to
we are
changing it.
changing constantly. We're trying new things. We're dropping things that maybe aren't as powerful as they once were. So, yeah.
Life
we
is
would love to hear.
constantly building and rebuilding, tearing down and rebuilding again. So if you have a morning routine that you love and that works powerfully for you, share it with us. And we can share it with others too, if you let us. Just let us know at hello@marriageiq.com and share your morning routine. So this kind of comes back, honey, to what have we learned today? What can we do as individuals this week? What can we do as couples this week?
I know what I'm going to do this week.
What are you going to do?
I am going to shoot for 100% on my morning routine all 7 days this coming week. Sometimes one or two or three of the elements of my morning routine get ignored or truncated. Sometimes exercise is only 10 or 15 minutes. I just try the best I can, but if I can get all of those things in there, then that's making improvement. So thanks for inspiring me.
I love that. Well, sit down with yourself for maybe a couple hours. Construct your own daily morning routine.
What if they don't have a couple of hours to sit down with themselves? What's another way to do it?
Well, I guess as long as you can do it, right? And maybe you do it here and there.
Yeah, just keep a tab open in your notes or something on your phone. And when you think of something you'd like to do, just add it in there.
I think that's a great idea. And again, it doesn't have to look like mine. It doesn't have to look like Heidi's. I just shared with you some personal, private parts of my morning in hopes of inspiring you to create your own. This is you starting right now, today, to become a better version of yourself. It's never too late to create your own golden hour. What can we do together as a couple this week?
What do you think? You mean in terms of the golden hour? Because that's kind of a more individual thing.
Well, you might want to compare notes with your spouse.
If this is something that both of you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
What surprised
Hold each
you?
other accountable.
Yeah, hold each other accountable. And then what surprised you about what your spouse thought was most important? It might be surprising. It might not be. Okay, folks. Well, I think that's a wrap for today. And we're so glad you joined us. You made it this far. If you reach out to us, it's hello@marriageiq.com. Give us comments, feedback, questions about future episodes. If you want to see something addressed, like us on Instagram and YouTube and anywhere else that we're at, Facebook, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to our weekly marriage tips. And until next time, we will see you on another exciting episode of Marriage IQ.